Are you talking?
Who loves a bit of pig bag on a Monday, hey? Good evening. Welcome to the 12-Man Podcast live, uninterrupted. Facebook, the Reds, Spotify, Amazon, Deezer, Apple, all the good places you can listen to your podcasts. Be a weekly feed of all things of Boro. Got me, Steve Jackson. I'm your main host, as usual. Main host. I'm the only host. All the way from Spain, we've got Mr. John Donovan. Evening, John Don.
No, then you okay?
Yeah, well, full of cold, but you know,
Yeah,
can't help it.
you don't sound too good.
Oh, thank you very much. Cheers, mate. Yeah, it's what it is, isn't it? I'd rather be in Spain, enjoying the sun. I've got Mr. John Cutler. You can't see him, but you'll be able to hear him. Evening, Cut.
Evening. You can't see me, can you? No.
No.
How's that now?
There we go.
There we are. Yeah, you come from behind the curtain.
He's got the full curtain on. Here we
I've
go.
got the curtain on. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, lads. Yeah, I'm good. Cheers.
Oh, good. Nice and comfy, nice and cosy.
Well, it's not as warm over here as where John is, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's been okay today, to be honest. Yeah, it's been quite nice.
Well, I can't imagine he's on the soft stuff over there. There we go.
There we go.
A glass of Ribena.
That's what it is, yeah. Vimto.
So yeah, let's get talking. So we've got two games to talk about this week. Of course, we've got the game from Loftus Road, 4-1 win at QPR, and we'll talk about Saturday, where you all laughed at me. You all thought I was stupid, ridiculous. Weren't far off, was I? Yeah. We'll talk about all that.
No, we were laughing of your first goal. Your anytime goal scorer choice. That's what we were laughing at.
He pinged as well. Imagine if he scored early on.
He nearly did get it as well. You're right.
But
yeah. For those who didn't listen, Jacko had 4-1 score prediction. Luke Ayling, anytime goal scorer, and yeah, to be fair, he should have scored.
You're telling me he should have scored. It was right. We were right behind that, but never mind. It's all right. You know, I don't always speak utter drivel. I do speak sense sometimes. Don't all back me at once. Right. So let's get stuck into it before we start. Are we both all right?
Yeah, fine. Yeah, what a difference a week makes.
What a difference a week makes. Absolutely right. It's been a great week, hasn't it? We've been saying it all season. We'll give someone a good hiding. There it was. You wait for one, two come along at the same time. So we'll start with Tuesday. So I'll start with you, Cuts, because we talked about it last week. If Ben Doak comes back in, we're all going to be raising our eyebrows. Ben Doak walks straight back in. Yes, we were happy to see him, but did it make last Saturday look a little bit more ridiculous, leaving him out for a bit of a rest?
You know my thoughts on it, but we're not privy to information behind the scenes, and there's been a bug going around, and if it's just purely down to fatigue, I didn't get it because he didn't look fatigued when he came off at Norwich. I'd have started him last Saturday. You go with what you've got, but at the end of the day, he's come back and he's put in two great performances, so 6 points out of 9. Can we really criticise the manager? Well, you can, but you probably look a bit stupid. So yeah, Michael Carrick got it wrong. Yeah, right. Possibly.
Right, wrong.
Well, yeah, you are right. He did get it right, didn't he? I mean, John Don, you made the trip down to Loftus Road, proper old school ground, one of my favourites in the Championship. Atmosphere seemed a good one. I saw some people at the end of the game cheering at the back of the stand. I'm pretty sure I recognised them. Yes, that was you. But good trip, good 3 points. Talk through it.
Yeah, it was a good trip. We had the two Boro fans from Hong Kong join us, Ting and CK. Tell you what, they're a good laugh. They're a good crack, you know, and they know a hell of a lot about the Boro. It's not just sort of something for to pass the time. You know, they're really knowledgeable about Boro and the players and the club's history. So it was nice. We travelled down with them. We got there in decent time. Where it allowed us to call into a pub that we usually frequent before the QPR game, and that was great. And then onto the game. I didn't think I told you last week on the pod. I didn't think Ben Doak would start, but I was pleased to be wrong, and he made a fantastic contribution in what was overall a very good team performance.
It was a really good team performance. It was, I mean, you know, let's not play about. QPR were shocking. They were awful. They weren't great. But, and that's all people will focus on. But I'd like to focus on what we did good, because we played the ball out wide. We used the wide players perfectly. We used the main man up front perfectly. I thought Conway had a really good 60-65 minutes when he was on the pitch. I mean, the first goal though, Cut, it was all Ben Doak down the right-hand side, and McGree with a nice cheeky little finish at the near post. That, I mean, I'm going to be honest, if it was my keeper, I'd be going, what are you getting beat for like that? But the play, everything about it, the finish, it was just one of 4 really good goals we scored on the night.
Yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, Doak's been fantastic for me since we came in. But I suppose if there's one criticism you've got a little bit that you could level at him, is his final ball. But I think that's getting better and better in every game. I wouldn't criticise him at all. That's just like nitpicking. But to be fair, he did really well. Skinned the full back, good ball over, and Raleigh was there to pop it in the net and won 1-0. So yeah, excellent goal.
It really was. It's another fullback that's having nightmares about Ben Doak. I mean, we'll move on to the second one of his opponents from Saturday, who had an absolute shocker against the poor lads. But just as you were all settling down after the first goal, JD, a few minutes later, ball comes through again. Finn as this time, same wing, same right-hand side. But the ball was absolute precision, wasn't it? It was perfect. It says Conway didn't even have to break stride. He just went straight onto the ball and put it straight at the back of the net. And there's your 2-goal lead. There's your cushion. Well,
it's I mean, going back to the first goal, it was a great finish.
It was
from McGree, because he had to work to get the header on target, because it wasn't head height, was it? He had to stoop and really sort of get some power behind it.
Yeah.
And it was a well taken goal. The second one, great move, you know, excellent ball by Ayling. Found Azzists in plenty of space. He had time to control the ball, look across, and play the perfect ball for Conway to run onto and nip in front of the keeper and put it away. And that sort of set us up, you know, for the rest of the night. We had a 2-goal cushion, two good goals. QPR staged a bit of a rally shortly before half time, but thankfully their old boy in between our sticks was in fantastic form. He made at least 3, what I would say, great saves, you know, very, very good saves. Not routine saves, but proper goalkeeping work. And, you know, it allowed us to go into the break still holding on to that 2-goal lead.
I mean, you've completely ruined my next point about what I was going to talk about when I was saying the 3. The 3 saves. No, don't apologise. It's a great point, well made. To be honest, because yes, there were 3 good saves. Yes, we're not massively surprised, because that's what Dieng does. You know, we made. I think we covered a few weeks ago. He doesn't make ordinary saves. He makes unbelievable saves, or he makes really, really bad mistakes that are easy saves that he shouldn't be letting in. But It's the fact that he made all three within about 3 minutes. There was no space. There was no break because they were right on us that last 5-10 minutes in the first half. And the way he got down to two of them, reflex was brilliant. And it was like he was showing QPR because they were giving him grief. You could hear it because obviously of leaving for more money, as they would like to put it. But as I say, money well spent for me because the saves he was making, he was showing them, I've made the step up now. I've left you behind. It was unbelievable saves.
I think about Dieng, I think some of the criticism he's been getting this season, I think it's a little bit unfair, mate. You can go against the shots that he's up against and shots he's conceding. But I think the main criticism that he gets is from us playing the ball out from the back. Now, that's what he's told to do by the manager. So, ultimately, you do what your boss tells you, otherwise you won't be in the team. So, is it? Yeah, you've got your heart in your mouth a lot of the time with what he's doing, but he's told to do that by the manager. That's the way he wants to play. And without talking about the second half too much, if you noticed in the second half, he was kicking the ball long second half, which is the first time I'd seen it all season. Every goal kick we had, he was kicking it long. Now that's a good sign going forward for me. But like I say, I think some of the criticism he's got this season, I think, is down to the short passes. But he's told to do that by the manager, so it's not for me that like.
No,
he did do that on Saturday also. When he looked and the option wasn't on, he did try to find Lath or Bergzorg. So I'm hoping that either a direction has come from the management team to say, look, if there's nothing on, just put it safe. Or Dieng's making his own decision, thinking, well, I know what the manager wants me to do, but it's not on, so I'll knock it long. Whoever has come up with that decision, I think it's right. I mean, we have to mix it about, because if we keep on doing what we're doing all the time, it's far too predictable. So you're right. He did do that at QPR, and he did it also on Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. It's good that he's bringing in a bit of a mix to his game, because I won't criticise Dieng as much as some have been doing. Like Cut said, he's been told to play that way. That's our style of football, and I fully get that. I did feel we were becoming a bit too predictable to play against. I felt if a team played the high press, they'd figure us out quite easily. But with that mixture of playing the ball out long, teams are now second guess. Do we go forward? Do we go back? We need to put ourselves in place. And we'll talk about Luton in a little bit, because Luton got that very, very wrong at times on Saturday. Very, very wrong. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. When their goal came, John Don, to make it 2-1, did you? Because first thing I said was, every time we look comfortable, we do this. Did the fans feel a little bit of the nerves as well, or was it just us armchair fans that felt a bit nervous?
No, not really. I mean, at Norwich, when we missed the penalty and they scored shortly after, there was a definite change in the atmosphere in the stand from Boro fans. There was a definite change. Not so prevalent on last Tuesday at QPR. At first, I thought it was I didn't realise it was no goal. I thought it was one of their players sort of putting it into the back post. But then it was announced it was no goal, Dykesdale. Bit unfortunate. But we never let them sort of gain any momentum after that goal. We never let them, like we did Norwich, we never let them and their crowd sort of get into the game. So as a result, on the terraces, we stayed sort of firmly behind the Boro and tried to give them as much support as possible. And we were rewarded, weren't we? We went on to score 2 more fantastic goals.
Well, I mean, we did. You're absolutely right. Cuts that third goal. was a lovely bit of synchronised diving as well from the defender and the fullback. One hitting the net, one hitting flat on his face. But that's it, laugh. The speed of the boy. They say that's what he's capable of, getting in behind and cutting that space down so quick with his pace. The fact that he had time that normal footballers wouldn't to turn and turn again. He made the defender and the goalkeeper look very, very silly, but it was a great finish again.
This is probably the only time in my life that you will hear me overrule the goal for an assist. That ball from Riley McGree was
unbelievable,
world class. World class. Oh. If that was done in the Premier League, you'd see it on the news channels, millions and millions of times repeated. It was absolute world class. And to be fair to Lath, for me, I think he's a better finisher when it's instinctive. We'll talk about that a bit later. But he showed great composure, went round the keeper, even brought it back round. In my head, I'm like, what are you doing? But then, both the defender ended up in the back of the net, and so did the ball, thankfully. It was all round, that was a great goal to watch. That it was absolutely excellent.
John, do you think it was meant? I'm not trying to take anything away, because you're right, the ball was perfect. But was it meant, or did he just think, if I put it behind the defender, I know that Lath will get onto it? But like you say, it was precision. But I've just got a question, because he wasn't looking. Was it meant?
So if in his head he knows if he puts it into a certain area, Lath's going to get onto it. For me, that means it's meant. He probably wouldn't have dreamt that it would have been absolutely inch perfect for the on-running striker. But yeah, for me, he meant to do it. He knew Lath was on the pitch. He knows the pace he's got, and he knew he could run past their defenders all day long if he put it into the right area. So for me, it was meant, and it was absolute thing of beauty. That pass was unbelievable.
Yeah, I'll take that then. Yeah, that's great. I'll take that. And to be fair, when he turned the keeper and the defender, he turned me. I was facing the other way when the goal went in. It was that good a turn.
It's a fantastic finish, to be fair.
Oh, it was. I think the best part, I mean, I don't know if this is a kid inside me, it's the fact he kicked the ball at the defender. The defender's on the floor in the goal, and he lists with it. It's like, yeah, have that. You might as well kick the ball while you're at it.
Yeah, you've been nowhere near it, so have it now.
Yeah, thump. But then the fourth, I know the other goals were good, and the ball from McGree, the play for the first and second. The fourth goal was my favourite.
Yeah,
because it was a bit of intricate play from Barlas. Was it? I can't remember if it was with his Azz or not. Who got the ball back from the finish?
He played the 1-2 with the QPR player. He played the 1-2 with the QPR player.
There you go. But the camera was right behind the shot, and the finish was absolutely. Considering he hadn't scored in about 3 years, that finish was unreal. You'd think. I mean, we're going to talk about the goals on Saturday, but you'd think it was like an Azz finish. As soon as he hit it, I thought, well, that's it. Unbelievable finish. I imagine that way, and John Don went a bit balmy.
Yeah. I mean, I couldn't really tell from my position in the stand, because some of the views there are not brilliant. I couldn't really tell how good a finish it was. I just knew that it went in because everybody else jumped up. But when I saw the replay, it was cheeky, wasn't it? It was just absolutely dirty, and it was brilliant.
And cuts, sometimes you win 4-1, and you think we must have played brilliantly. But I've seen us play better this year than that, and get beat and draw. But it's the first of them steps towards putting the team away, as well as we did, without having really got out of second and third gear. I thought there was more to come if we really, really wanted to push the button. Yeah,
to be honest, you stole my thunder. I don't care about performances. I've always said it's about winning. But that was nowhere near our best performance this season. We've played better and got 0 points, never mind 1 or 3. But I couldn't care less. The quality of the goals was really good. like you said earlier, we've always said that some team's going to get absolutely battered, and we've done it twice in a week. I think someone put a stat on where we're something crazy before the games yesterday, like joint top scorers in the league or something. Now I haven't checked it up, but if that's true, it's mental, because that's all we've moaned about all season. All we needed was to start scoring goals. So yeah, I don't think it was our best performance. I would like to ask you: do you think we've, through injury and sickness, have we stumbled across our best option for left back?
No.
You don't think so?
I don't think so personally. No, I don't.
Because for me personally, I think we look a lot stronger with Dijksteel at right back and Erling at left back than we ever did with Borgs in the team. I just think it's something going forward while they're playing well and we're getting results. I think Borgs might find it hard to get back in personally.
Okay, all about opinions, but I just don't think. I'm not dissing Dijksteel here, because he's played well when he's been put in, but I don't think Erling is left back, and I don't think he'll continue to be there once Borges is fit.
Yeah.
There you go. That was John Don's way of saying it's all about opinions, but yours is wrong. But no, to be honest, Cuts, I've got to agree with you. I thought he looked really solid with Early on one side and Dijksteel on the other. I just thought it was perfect. I thought they balanced each other really well as well. They weren't too gambling going forward. Usually have one side going a bit more forward than the other. I thought they balanced really well coming back and going forward. So, and they proved it again on Saturday. I thought they were really good. But I don't know. This is the only time I'm going to ask you both tonight, because I've let our viewers or listeners, whatever you want to call them, decide Luton. So, Cuts, I'll start with you. Your man of the match for Saturday. Oh, sorry, for Wednesday.
For QPR, I think I'm going to give it a Dieng. He's had a bit of criticism. I know we scored some brilliant goals, but his saves were vital in that game at 2-0 and 2-1. So yeah, I'm going to give it a Dieng.
John Don, whichever day of the week it was, pick one.
Yeah. So Thursday's match, I'm going to give it to Azaz.
Oh God. Yeah, I'm gonna agree with Cuts again. That's become the theme. This. I thought Dieng was brilliant. Even though we won 4-1, I thought some of the saves he made were daft at times. They really were daft. It was unbelievable. So
crucial time, wasn't it?
Yeah, I know all about opinions, I know, but yes. Yes, right. Saturday.
Was it Saturday? Was it Friday or Sunday?
Behave. It was 12:30. I know that. I had to get up early.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to hand over to you, Mr. John Cutler. What did you say when the team came out? No Howson, no McGree. What did you say?
Well, I can't say what I said to you on a group chat. That's for sure. But I would imagine every single Boro fan, when they saw that team, will have had a similar reaction to me. We've just come off a thumping win away from home. And I've said in the past, it does my head in when, in my opinion, our best player gets left out before international breaks and after international breaks to go and play for Australia. I couldn't give a monkeys about Australia and what they do. He's fit enough to play for us. So therefore, he should have started on Saturday. Now, had we not won the game, and God forbid if we'd have lost it, Michael Carrick would have opened himself to a massive can of worms and loads of criticism. I couldn't really understand the Howson one either before the game. Conway, possibly. You know, he runs his socks off. But for the second time tonight, I'm going to say that Michael Carrick was right and Cutler was wrong. So, yeah, well done, Michael.
The thing is, John, you're right in what you say. If we'd have lost, he would have opened himself up for a bag full of criticism. But he hasn't got a great deal of praise when we won.
Yeah.
So are some fans just waiting for to criticise him? Why haven't they given him the credit? Because, our most convincing win of the season, there's been very little credit.
Yeah, I mean, hindsight's a wonderful thing in football, and come the end of the game on Saturday, like we'll talk about in a minute, Michael got it bang on, but I would imagine there'll have been about 24,000 whatever of us lot there on Saturday, and I bet every single one was bemoaning the fact that Bergzorg was starting above Riley McGree. Now, afterwards, Michael said it was a tactical decision, and let's be honest, he got it absolutely spot on, because I thought Bergzorg was excellent. And I think I mentioned last week or the week before that I think he's actually above Isaiah Jones at the moment, even though I like Jones. I just think his confidence completely shot. I think Bergzorg's above him. But yeah, for me to sit here now and say before the game I was happy with the team, I'd be completely wrong, because I wasn't.
What did you think of the team, John Dam, when you heard this? I could see the reasoning behind Hackney coming back in.
Yes, sure, yeah. But
Conway,
you're right. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I had to take a couple of minutes to decide sort of like who was where. And yeah, a couple of omissions raised my eyebrows. But at the end of the day, we don't know the reason behind certain players, why they're not in the starting 11 and just on the bench. We don't know. We've always got to trust that the manager and his backroom staff pick the team for the best reasons, and that's to win the game. They don't always get it right, but on this occasion, they were bang on. So yeah, while I was a little bit surprised by some, I still thought it was fairly strong. Bergzorg is one of those players that divides opinion. I'm yet to be fully convinced by him, although he had a great game and took his goals well. Well, they were fairly routine, but he took his goals well on Saturday. So hopefully that'll sort of see the start of him getting on the team score sheet more regular.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've got a new nickname for Bergzorg. He just reminds me of a bucking bronco. He just goes wherever he really wants to. He's the amount of times he swat with latte laugh and he was supposed to be out left. You're like, will you go back over and book over there, please? Fair play, it's 2 goals. Really well, but go on.
I'll tell you what, at Oxford or the next home game against Blackburn, if we don't hear a song about a bucking bronco, I'll be very disappointed.
Well, we've got the man in the top left corner that'll give you that chant if you really want it. But it does. It's just out of he does his own thing. I can't get my head around him yet. Bergzorg. I'm not saying he's a bad player. I'm not saying he's a good player. I'm just not. I'm a bit like JD. I'm not quite entirely convinced by him yet. But we'll get stuck in the game. First goal came about. I mean, I'll go briefly at the first goal because I really want to talk about the second goal. Second goal was brilliant. But first goal, very, very clever corner routine. Very clever. I will put my hand up and people go, he was never offside. I thought he was offside. Ben Doak. Because when you watch the replay, the ball goes forwards. Which is a ridiculous thing to say. People are going to go, right, he talks out his arse, he doesn't know what he's talking about. And fair enough, I don't most weeks. But I think that's what caught the Luton players off. No one expected him to go for a little walk. And then, yeah, I was quite surprised. But when we saw the goal, JD, we were right behind it. Keeper was going to get nowhere near it, let's face it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, when you say offside, do you mean like from when the corner was taken?
Yeah. It's offside.
Can you be offside from a corner?
That's the bit I don't know. Because usually you can't. Okay. Obviously, it's right on the byline, isn't it? So I say I'm not a referee, but
I didn't think you could. But anyway, it was clever. It was well worked. I don't know whether the intended recipient was Bergzorg, because it went close to, was it Morris? But Bergzorg, it was, yeah, we had a great view from the top of the north stand. We could see the whole of that goal. And I think Bergzorg realised that everybody was moving to Bergzorg's left. So the goalkeeper moved to his right, and it left a big open space. And he just like passed it in. But yeah, you know, we have many complaints, don't we, that we don't score from set pieces very often. I thought this was quite clever.
It was a very, very clever goal.
We tried one at QPR as well, didn't we? That nearly came off.
Yes.
So yeah, it's good to see. I mean, we've bemoaned for weeks and weeks the fact that it doesn't seem like we can beat the first man from corners. So yeah, good that they're working on stuff in training, and it almost came off at QPR, and thankfully it came off against Luton on Saturday. So, and with regards to whether it was offside or not, 3 words: I don't care.
Yeah, yes. Jason's just
2 words.
Right.
Me neither.
Jason's just put me right. FYI, it can't be offside from a goal kick, corner, or throw in. So there you go. Me talking out my arse, as per. That's why I host this. I don't give an opinion. But talk to me about that second. That second goal was an absolute. I put it this way: if you see that in the Premier League, it's replay after replay after replay. The touch, the turn, the finish. Like you said, it's bang on instinctive. You don't think about it, you just do it. And that's why he's at his best. And the goal's an absolute beaut. And I still can't believe it's not the best one we saw on Saturday, but what a goal.
Let's go back a bit, though. Let's go back a bit and Finn Azzi's
the ball.
Provide for the goal. Brilliant. It was almost a lob, wasn't it? A lob onto right into the path of Latelav. He still had loads to do. He had lots to do. Kill it on his chest, quick turn, and finish with his left foot. Brilliant, excellent goal.
Before I let you finish on that cut, have we found Finners as his best position finally? Because he's made that number 10 position his own. I can't see him getting moved now.
He's another player that's had a little bit of criticism from certain sections of fans. And I can understand he needs, as a number 10, he needs to score goals and create goals. That's what he's there for, ultimately. But I think even in the first 5 minutes on Saturday, he tried a through ball for Lath. And it was just a little bit overplayed. And he's a bit like Doak for me, because with Doak, I don't mind him losing the ball in the final third. And it's the same with Azziz when he's trying to play a through ball that could create us a goal. I don't mind the ball's not coming off because it's in the final third of the pitch. Creative players are generally a bit frustrating at times, but he's got a lot of talent, that boy. And like you say, that pass through was bang on the money. And at the time, that goal reminded me of, I don't know if you can remember Dennis Bergkamp's goal against Newcastle where he sort of like flicked it. It wasn't like similar, but it was completely instinctive. First touch, mugged off 2 defenders and put it in the bottom corner. It was an absolute world-class goal, world-class pass, and a world-class strike. Brilliant turn. Great.
Yeah, the thing about Azziz, sorry, is that it's dead easy. It's dead easy for players to get their stats up, you know, to play short passes, to play easy passes. So you look at 90% completion, blah, 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 all this. It's easy to get the simple passes off. And to boost your stats. But the better players, they're not bothered about that. They want to create things, and Azziz might try 4 very clever passes that don't come off. The 5th one leads to a goal. And that's what you want. That's what you want from your creative players. Yeah. We could have a bog standard midfielder who just passes from A to B, gets it back, A to C, and just does that. And his completion rate is fantastic. Doesn't matter. Doesn't create anything. So Finn Azziz does. He takes a chance, and it's not just.
It's not just that, John. His movement off the ball's really good for opening space up. When him and McGree are together, It's not always what they do on the ball. It's the movement. And if I've got one criticism from Azzists, I always remember, I think it was his first goal for us last year at Preston away, where he gave the keeper the eyes and pinged it in the other corner. My only criticism is that he doesn't shoot enough, because I think he's a massive threat from outside the box, and he's a pretty good finisher, to be fair. He scored some good goals for us. I think if you looked at his highlight reel since he's been here and his goals, we saw him score great goals for Plymouth as well, but he scored some absolute corners for us.
He's excellent at just making himself a second or two or half a yard, so that he gives himself room to have the shot or to play in somebody else. He's very, very good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, one of his criticisms, one I've given him, he slows the play down too much, but I think he's found a balance now where he can slow the play down to give him that half a second away from defenders or anybody else, to find that pass, to find that little bit of a run, to make that next bit of play link up. And like you say, the ball over was brilliant. And the finish, you said there, it reminds you of Bergkamp. I can't believe I'm going to mention his name. It reminded me of Hal Robson-Kanu against Belgium, when he absolutely ruined half of Belgium's defence. Just turned them inside out and pinged it. But it was just, I just loved how it was pure instinct. You don't think about finishes like that. You just get stuck in and you do it. That's exactly where he plays at his best.
I'm sure if lads listening, they prefer the
Bergkamp one.
The Bergkamp one than being compared to Hal Robson-Kanu, but yeah, I get where you're coming from.
Latte laugh the next Robson-Kanu. It's got a ring to it. But and then you're going 2-0 up, half time, and you think get out second half, quick again. And we were, and JT, it was all about Ben Doak again.
Kutcher's got his hand up.
Yeah, go on.
Just before we go on to the third goal, another top quality save from Dieng.
Oh yeah,
he made a cracking save at I'm sure it was either just before half time or the start of the second half. That was a cracking save, that, by the way. So like I say, he's had plenty of criticism. We've got to mention it when he does well, because that was some save, that.
Yeah, I think
and I'll take you back even further. What about Morris's interception in the box? First half. I mean, Craig Johns highlighted it, and it was something because of all the goals we scored. It's something I had forgotten about, but at the time watching the game, it was quality. He got it perfectly right, because it could have been clumsy. It could have led to a penalty, but he got it bang on, and he killed the threat there. So that was another important point in time, so that Luton didn't get back in the game.
I love the fact, that he's not with our fans, but it seems like around the country. Although that Coventry fan mentioned the other week, didn't he, about Morris? Morris has been absolutely outstanding for us. Absolutely outstanding, to the point of, for centre midfield, for me now, he's the number one choice in centre midfield. He's above Hackney, and we know Johnny's getting on in age now, but we have unearthed a proper gem there, because he's always got time on the ball. He gets around the pitch. He's comfortable. He always has, the sign of a good player is they always have time on the ball, and he always seems to have time even in tight spots. He's absolute gem. But if any scouts in that are listening, Morris is rubbish, so don't bother looking.
He's our Robbie Mustoe minus the goals at the moment, but I hope they come.
He's some player, isn't he, John? He is some player.
Yeah, he is. Yeah,
How much did he cost?
Was it £3 million? Wasn't it? They don't give the fees out now, but it was rumoured to be £3 million. But I think the Gazette said it wasn't going to be anywhere near that. So even if we did pay £3 million and that was the max, he's definitely going to be. If he doesn't get in the Premier League with us in the next couple of years, he's going to be playing in the Premier League, because he is a top talent, that lad.
Unbelievable talent. Unbelievable. I mean, our producer Gary there has just put his 4 fingers up and said 4, so I'm going to go with that.
Yeah.
But is that the best £4 million you could possibly spend at the moment? You look at all these players that are going for tens of millions of pounds, and they get nowhere. Like, there's some real flops in the Premier League at the moment, which is, I mean, look at Tottenham, for instance. They pay some big money for their players and they're not performing. £4 million for Morris. He looks an absolute steal.
He does. He looks a bargain.
By a long way.
Yeah. He looks a bargain, and even in the Championship, he looks a bargain. And he's a young lad. He's settled into Championship football, which is totally different to the MLS, and he just doesn't look out of place. He's steady. He's reliable. A proper bargain, as those T-siders would say, proper bargain. Like
proper bargain.
He's consistent as well, and he's never really I don't think I've seen him have less than a 7 out of 10 game. No. And you say about, have we spent any better money recently? I think Kieran Scott and the backroom staff need a lot of praise, not just for him, because we didn't pay, by today's standards, a lot of money for Lath either. Finn Azzists, £2 million. I know he'd done well at Plymouth, and it was probably easier to scout someone like that. But at £2 million for him, the money we've paid for Lath and the money that we've certainly paid for Morris. Hopefully, we don't sell them on in the future. Hopefully, they're playing Premier League football with us. But we've seen in years gone by, we've all bemoaned it, that we've paid loads of money and never had anything back. We know on these players, if they ever do leave this football club, they're going to be leaving because they've increased their price tag on what we paid. So, like you say, fair play to Kieran Scott and the other people who were scouting some of these players, because we unearthed some gems that, let's be honest, probably none of us had ever heard of.
Yeah, absolutely. And hopefully, we can give Kieran Scott another pat on the back. He's put a little clause in Morgan Rogers' deal, because he's just got a call for England. So hopefully, there's another few quid in the kitty for January. So, but you're absolutely right, because you've got to commend the man and his team. They've found some real bargains. This time last year, a lot of fans were questioning, what kind of direction we were going down, buying players such as Rodgers, for instance, did go for big money a couple of months later. This is our model now, and it's proven it's working as well, because it's benefiting us, both on the pitch and off it. The money's coming in, but the quality that the lads are producing is ridiculous. I mean, I know he's only a loan signing, but Ben Doak alone, I couldn't imagine Boro getting a player like Ben Doak a few years ago. I really couldn't. We'd be one of them teams that go and try and get a winger for 5-6 million quid. And it hasn't worked for us. A bit like Martin Braithwaite. We tried down that road and it just didn't work. Ben Doak, I know we're going to talk about Finn Azzists a bit more as well, but I'm praying we go up, because that's the only way we're going to see Ben Doak in a Boro shirt again, to give him that step up and give him another year out on loan. Because there's no way Liverpool letting him go for any amount of money.
I think a plus thing for us is what we've done with loan players in the last few seasons. I mean, when we had Archer, Ramsey, Giles, you can look at Morgan Rogers came in and have played really. But the Guardiolas, the Slots, all the big clubs will be looking at their young players who've got talent, and they'll be thinking, I tell you what, the perfect place for them to go and play football. Look what they've done with players in the last 3 years. And you've got a list as long as your arm, because we've done fantastic with loan players and bringing players in and making them better. So it's a plus for this football club as well, that.
I'm not going to lie there. I thought he said sloth and not slot. And I thought, man, he's sloth. That's amazing.
It wasn't a Steve McLaren Dutch impersonation, I'll tell you that.
I thought, wow, Arnie sloth.
It was definitely slot.
Slot. But no, you're absolutely right. I think Liverpool obviously expected him to progress a little bit. It's the kind of player he is. He's only just, I think he's turned 19 today, funny enough. But I don't think they're expecting this quicker progression that he's doing, because he just looks an absolute world beater. Not just for us, even when he goes on international duty, he seems like he's the first player on the team sheet for Scotland for Steve Clarke as well. It just shows the power of the kid. And he just excites me every time he's on the pitch, and you can fully see why he's one of the first names on the team sheet. But Going back to the goal.
He is rapid, like he's no sloth.
Oh God, what do I do without you, Tim? The fourth goal, you come back to £2 million for Finn's as again. The ball through for Latte Laugh. That poor number 6, was it McGuinness? He took the muck off then, and I'm sure he had a few of them on Saturday night. He had an absolute nightmare against Latte Laugh. He ran him all over the shop. He didn't know what day it was. Like me about 20 minutes ago. He didn't know what day it was. He had an absolute shocker. Trying to get the ball, and Latte Laugh just hurdled him and just went, move. And then, I thought shoot, but a little past the Bergsall, got him his second. But going back to the pass, JD, the pass through from Finn's looks up, sees the run, just plays it round the side of the defence. Another unbelievable pass through again.
Yeah. And, Laugh disguised that pass to Bergsall quite well, didn't he? He done the step over, and then Cheeky just quickly knocked it. And again, Bergsall put it into an empty net. He scored 2 easy goals on Saturday. But they were well worked, like you say. It was the creative sort of balls to our players that split. John's laughing when I said creative balls. No, it's the creativity of our passes, to the forwards that is giving us a chance. I mean, we've gone from missing a bag full of chances all season.
Bag of balls.
We've gone through missing bag full of chances all season to banging away 9 goals in 2 games. Fantastic. If we carry on, then that's just brilliant. Sorry, John, you take over.
Oh, God. Bag of balls, split.
I know.
Remain professional. Come on.
I know we're supposed to be mature. What are we doing? We're laughing at balls. And then, right, I'll regain my composure. The fifth goal. Fifth goal is my favourite goal. Someone's Phil Batcher's put in the comments. Latte Laugh was the goal of the day. I'm sorry, it wasn't. As soon as Finn's hit that ball, I shouted straight away. I went, "That's in." A bit like Plymouth last year when he scored the goal against us. As soon as he hit it, you just knew where it was going. Poor keeper's diving. He didn't know what he was doing. He thought, I better dive to make it look like I've done something. There was nowhere in this earth he was getting anywhere near that ball. The hit, it was perfect. And it was so nonchalant as well, because it didn't even look like he was going to shoot. He just flicked his foot at it. And all of a sudden it's back of the net. And you think, behave, man. Behave.
Well, his first goal was excellent also. The ball from Hackney to the ball from Hackney to Doak, and then Doak looks up, cuts it back, and as hits it first time, good finish. But that fifth goal was very, very special. Like I said earlier, he just has that knack of shimmying his body to create himself 1 or 2 seconds, or maybe half a yard, just to give him that opportunity, and that's what he done. And I love it when you see a ball that sort of goes in at the far post and rolls round the net. I think that's fantastic. That's brilliant, and it was a superb finish. And he just stood there with his arms out wide, just accepting all the plaudits, and he deserved it.
Right, so
outstanding. He's not a great goal scorer, but he's a scorer of great goals. And that celebration there, it reminded me a little bit of when Cantona scored against Sunderland at Old Trafford, where he just looked around. Azaz was sort of like, hands out, this is exactly what I can do. I know what I've got in my locker. There, you've just seen it, boom. But like John said, his first goal was a great finish as well. Like I say, my criticism is that he doesn't shoot enough, because that was outstanding. You said, Steve, that it was your favourite goal of the day. I can't split the two goals. They were both very different, but they were both outstanding. They were a joy to watch, and it's great to see that we're finally putting the ball in the back of the net, because I could have looked like a bit of an idiot. Well, I probably do anyway, but I could have looked like a bit of an idiot today if we hadn't picked up the 6 points, because even last week I was saying that I see no reason why this team can't finish top 2. And we've just scored 9 goals in 2 games. I hope we're putting the rest of the league on notice, because I see no reason at all why we can't do it. And we've got strikers now, last scoring goals. We've got Conway, who I've been really impressed with, scoring goals. Azzists scoring goals. This team will only get better and better in the coming weeks. I mean, well, I've got written down already. We've got Oxford away, then Blackburn at home and Hull at home. Now, for me, I'm expecting 9 points from that, which will then take us on to Burnley away and Leeds away. If we can get the 9 points from the next 3 games, we're going to go there full of confidence. And do Leeds and Burnley scare me? Not this squad, not one bit. It's just about us finding consistency. We've said it all season. There's not a team that can live. I don't think there's a team that can live with us when we play at well potential. And we've scored some absolutely banging goals in the last week that'll get replayed on Sky, and the rest of the league can watch it and see what we are capable of. I just hope the players start believing in themselves of what they can actually do.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'd echo from what I said a bit earlier about the QPR game. I still felt if we needed to go up a couple more gears on Saturday, we could have done it. We had Luton all over the shop, and it proved it as well when Carlton Morris came off the bench, who is, I think, he's our club captain. Obviously, lost his head straight away, but he didn't have to give that back force a rollicking. Saying to them, what he is doing, it's embarrassing, this. And he was right. They were getting pulled all over the shop. I don't know why Carl Morris didn't start, to be quite honest. I rate him, I really do. But they couldn't live with us. Mm. And I'm with you, Coach. There's no team in this league that can live with us when we really get into it. And I feel like we're starting to go through the gears through what we're doing. And the scary part is we're only 7 points off the top. 7 points off top, where we've dropped 3 points against Derby, we've dropped 2 points against Portsmouth. That's just picking 2 games out. I could go through more if I really want to. We should be where Sheffield United are, where Sunderland are. And I'm not exaggerating when I say it. I'm really not. And that's just us getting out of second gear now.
The thing about that, Steve, no one in the league would have had any complaints if we had been top. The reason that we're not top is through our own misgivings of giving stupid goals away and not scoring good chances when we've had them. But if this team clicks, and we know that they can click, and we've seen it in patches, I still believe there's no team that can live with us in this division. And top 2 for me is definitely on.
But I'm not going to get carried away because of a great week. No, I'm not going to, because I don't get carried away when we've had a series of bad results. It's easy. You see fans that they go from the depths of despair up to we're championship winners. You know, it's not always like that. You know, the championship's tough. We can play well and lose, and we can play not so well and win. And I've said it all along. It's just about consistency and results. I said top 2 at the start of the season. After the window closed, not the start, sorry, just when the window closed, and it's still possible. It would still be possible if we'd have lost the last 2 games, to be honest, because the way the championship goes, it's so unpredictable. But I'm not going to get carried away. I hope what we've seen in the last 2 games is now our team coming together and a little bit more confidence in certain players. And like John said, we're spreading the goals around. Players are getting opportunities to make their mark when they do play. And obviously being given rest periods when the management team think they require them. So let's not jump the gun, because we've had lots of Boro fans saying that, you know, we don't deserve to be where we are, you know, we're not as good as we think we are, blah blah blah, when we've had some bad results. So let's not go over the top with good results. Let's try and keep level-headed and be as calm as Michael Carrick is, and just see where we go.
Get another glass of red wine down your neck. Get excited. Best football we've played in years.
I get excited at the games, but I try to be a bit level-headed. And don't get me wrong, that's not me knocking the team, because I'm always optimistic, but I'm not going to get over the top until May.
I just think, I mean, another thing, the strength of the bench on Saturday, the players that we brought. I was glad to see at 4-1. You had to bring Fry on and give him 20 minutes. He's been out a canny while, get some minutes into his legs. But you look at the players that are not even on the bench. You've got Lenihan, you've got Force, who wasn't on the bench at the weekend. We've got some real strength in depth as well, and a good, real good squad, I would say, as well. That hopefully we don't get too many injuries. But I think if we did, in every position, barring maybe left back, we've got good cover for those spots. I think we've got a really good squad, and I understand where you're coming from, because the only consistent thing about us this season is that we've been inconsistent. But from seeing how well I know we can play, it's just the players believing about it, and I don't see why we can't get excited. I'm sure the players themselves will be thinking and confident in their own ability and thinking to themselves, we can get top 2 here, lads. I think that's been the thing that's come out of the press. Every player we've signed, we're coming here to get promotion to the Premier League. I think that's the message from the chairman. I think it's the managers sort of insinuated it, and I think the players think that. So yeah, I get where you're coming from, that we threw points away through possibly our own fault. But let's just hope we can win the next 3 games and go to Burnley and Leeds and really have a go.
Yeah. I mean, we've always had a good squad. But like you say, the early part of the season, we've beat ourselves. We've made mistakes. We've missed gilt-edged chances. We're still creating them. So the worry wasn't there that we're not creating chances. We were still creating them, but just missing them. I'm hoping that the last couple of games just reinforces into the players how good a squad we are. You know, how good we are, what we can reach. But this league has a habit of sort of knocking you down when you get yourself up. So all I'm saying is, I'm not saying don't get excited. I'm just saying, let's be level-headed. When we lose, let's not go mental. And when we win, let's not sort of like big ourselves up too much. Let's just be steady. Let's just be consistent.
I don't know what that red wine's done to you.
Why?
You're very calm, very collected, very philosophical.
Yeah, maybe. Well, he said in
the previous segment, we all need to be a bit more like Michael Carrick. He's definitely filling that void.
I know.
Cool as a cucumber.
I'm not as cool. He's as cool as anything, you know. He's you never see him get angry. He's as cool as anything. If I was as cool as him, I'd be over the moon.
Tell you another thing as well. How annoyed Dieng got when they scored the goal?
Yeah.
Yeah, with Hamilton. Yeah.
To be fair, it was a poor ball played into Hamilton, but it was a poor goal to concede. But the game was done and dusted by them. But it was good to see him being aggressive and fuming that even though the game was won. Not all games are going to be like that. It could have been 0-0 or 1-1, and we're going to give a good daft goal away like that. It was good to see.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And just to counteract what John's just been saying, Jason's popped in and said, And with cuts to Sat-Nav, he's already set for Premier League grounds next season. So there you go. Our bus is already set for next year. So I come to the part where I usually ask you two, your man of the match, but I'm going to wait because I did put it out there. I said I'll let the people who listen decide. You know, it's only fair. Only 2 names came up. One was Renounding. He was a clear winner. Paul Colby went through.
Did you say Renounding there?
Yeah, we got in the way then, big time.
That's a new word.
I know.
It is, yeah.
Renounding. That's what I was going for. We got in the bloody way. But it's what a great name this is, by the way. Flossie McPhee, great name. Graham Howard, Paul Ralphie, Neil in France. He's still in France. Mark R. Don't know what the R stands for. Everybody, Azaz. People went for Finn Azaz. Some great names here, some great names.
Yeah. Well,
I wish I could.
It had to be Azaz. It had to be Azaz. It was a renounding success.
Yeah. I know. Me and my N's and my S's getting mixed up. Good old call there. Never mind. But would you have both gone for Azaz if I'd asked you both the question?
Yeah.
Yeah, he would have been my man of the match. I think there was a few good performances. I think one that might have went a little bit unnoticed. I thought for first 25 minutes, I thought they started pretty well. And I thought Dykesdale was really solid on Saturday. I thought he had another really good game. But yeah, it would have been Azaz from me. But you can give mentions to certain other players, like I say, Morris, excellent. Doak, a massive threat again. Lath scoring goals. Yeah, great.
Yeah, the only two that got mentioned were Morris and Azaz. They say then once it started kicking in, more and more people were saying Azaz, and I couldn't disagree with him. 2 goals, 2 assists. There you go, assists.
Hang on, who's on the red wine here?
I wish I was. Knock his goal for 6.
A renounding assist.
It was. There's never the podcast started. A renounding assist. So yeah, there you go. Oh God Almighty! Right, I think I better leave it there. I'm not dealing me. So because there's no games to preview next week. We'll be back next week. We're talking legacy numbers next week. So get do your research on them. So we'll chat then. Hopefully the lads come back. Clean bit of health, no injuries. I don't know if he's laughing at me saying Renounding assist or you saying split ball back.
Whatever.
But one of them's done him. But yes, thank you very much for listening. Cuts, thank you very much for coming on. And John, enjoy Spain. Speak to you again next week. But don't have too much of that red wine and pass some to me because by the sounds of it, I need it. And yes, thank you very much for listening, liking, subscribing, commenting, getting in touch. And yeah, we'll have a chat again next week. Hopefully where I've got a bit of a better voice and it's working a bit better than it is this week. So I'll leave it there. Arrivederci, up the Boro.